Hi there, everyone. Today I want to put on my magician's hat and show you how you can turn very small 1% improvements in a couple of different areas in your business and how this can add up to a massive 23% improvement in your bottom line, in your profitability. Now, I've got my iPad up here on the screen and I'm going to go through a few numbers, so bear with me, but it will all be worthwhile in the end when I show you how these small incremental improvements flow through to a massive improvement in your profitability. Okay, so I'm just going to go through from left to right and write in some example numbers for a very simple example business, and I'll explain to you as I go through what I'm doing. So let's say there's a business that does $1,000 in sales. It has cost of sales of 600. Now, for those that aren't aware of the difference between cost of sales and expenses, cost of sales are generally expenses that move in line with fluctuations in income or sales every month. So, for an example, if you've got a trades-based business and they are doing jobs out on site, cost of sales would include things like equipment that they install, cabling, components, those sorts of things. And then expenses down the bottom are, which is down here, are more fixed costs of running the business. So it could be rent, accounting fees, electricity, those types of things. Okay. So if your business isn't broken down like that, that's fine. This is just a good example for most businesses that do have cost of sales separately from expenses. So back to this base example. So this business does $1,000 worth of sales, $600 worth of cost of sales, giving you a gross profit of 400. So gross profit is the profitability of your jobs before you take into account all of your fixed expenses, office running costs, and so on. And then let's say this business has expenses of 300, leaving you a profit of 100. Okay, so that's the base case. So what I want to do is just show you how a very small 1% improvement in the three areas of sales volume, price, and costs, how that accumulates to this massive improvement in profitability. So let's say this example company improves sales by 1%. So that means it goes to 1,010. Cost of sales will also go up because as sales increases, then there's more costs of components and equipment and those sorts of things used to do the job. Or it could be a manufacturer who uses raw materials and components to make something. So once again, if it goes up by 1% sales, then cost of sales goes up by 1%, which is 606. That leaves you a new gross profit of 404. No change in expenses because they're fixed at this, regardless of what happens with sales. So that's still 300. And so your new profitability is 104. Okay. So that's just a very small increase in sales. Now, if we do the same with price, if we improve price by 1% on top of the sales increase, then the new sales figure goes to 1,020. An increase in price has no effect on costs. Okay, so costs still stay at 606. So therefore, the new gross profit is 414. No change in expenses. And so therefore now you have a profit of 114. Okay, and you can go back and check these calculations if you like. And the last thing I want to do is now show you the impact of a 1% improvement in costs. So obviously no change in sales. Costs here, cost of sales will go back down to 600 because we're now looking at a 1% improvement in both cost of sales and expenses. So now we have a new gross profit figure of 420. Once again, we're looking at expenses, some 1% improvements there. So that now goes down to 297. Okay, that's 1% of 300. That is that $3 saving. And so now we have cost of a total profit figure of 123. Okay. So you can see and you can check these calculations, but now we've gone from an original profit of 100 to a new profit of 123. So that is a 23% improvement in profitability. Okay, so if you look at 123, that's a $23 improvement compared to the $100 starting place. That's a 23% improvement in profitability. Okay, so the lesson here is that it's amazing if you just tweak small things in your business. Now, here I've shown you an example of financials, but it could be tweaking other things in your business. So it could be improvement in sales process and conversion rates. It could be tweaking improvements in your marketing. So it's just really looking at these small incremental improvements in a wide range of business areas has a massive, massive impact and improvement to your profitability and your bottom line. Now, if we just stay focused on these three areas that I covered, and maybe just share with you some examples of things you could do. Obviously, sales is pretty straightforward. Everyone wants to improve sales, and we can do that through a whole range of areas. Obviously, marketing related, but also sales function related as well. Price, there's so many people that just don't review prices regularly. So I really encourage all of my clients to review their prices every 6 months, 12 months minimum, but ideally every 6 months, and just look for those incremental increases where possible. Costs, now I've got here a 1% reduction in costs, and that is despite costs going up. Just generally. So you might think that, well, that's going to be difficult to do, but I'll just explain why it's not as difficult as you think. Firstly, definitely go to your suppliers, whether it's your material suppliers, whether it's your insurance provider, a whole range of things you can do to review expenses in your business. And once again, we're just looking for those small incremental improvements. But if you think about costs more broadly, there are a whole range of productivity improvements that you can make, which is effectively reducing the cost of you producing a service or producing your products. Okay, so that could be working with your team to improve productivity, training them better, just setting expectations, doing better weekly production management and job management and forecasting. So using AI in your business, other technology and software. So there's massive amounts of things you can do to improve this one area of costs. So just take that on board. Now, if you want to talk about, if you want to discuss how to make these small improvements in your business and stay consistently focused on them, then definitely just reach out. Happy to help, happy to chat about that in your business. But once again, don't underestimate the power of these small incremental improvements in your business and how much that will improve your profitability and the running of your business overall. All right, so all the best, talk soon, and have a good week ahead. Bye.